Well, welcome to the fun and mentals of real estate. I got a question of the day for you, Glenn.
What is it?
Are gray floors out?
Are gray
What do
floors
I do?
out?
What do I do if I have gray floors and I don't want to feel dated? Like, are gray floors out? Let's talk about flooring today. What do you think?
I think it's a great topic to go with the one that we just did on the wall. So I'm Glen Calvin with Guild Mortgage, and I'm here to see if you can figure out with your flooring without having to look at the 19 samples Angela's going to make you look at.
That's right. So listen, flooring are things that people don't think enough about until it is wrong. Why do some homes, when you walk in them, Glenn, why do they feel cold or maybe even look dated?
Well, I think, we go back to the gray LVP, which was the choice of flippers and floors for 10 years. And I think it's kind of fading and on its way out. And I think if you pair those same gray floors with cold colors, it's going to look like a dentist office and not a home.
That's absolutely true. So that's where we're moving, right? We talked about the Sherwin-Williams 2026 paint colors of the year, right? And they're moving toward the warm tones. Well, so was flooring. Flooring is moving to warmer tone as well. So we want to talk about when you're talking about a paint color, it's not the first thing you pick, right? It's the last thing you pick. It's the connector between your cabinets, your counters, and your flooring. Okay, so that's what we really want to talk about and kind of drill down today of why the mental part of this is that flooring is one of the largest visual surfaces in the home. No doubt about it. And if the floor feels really warm and natural and current, then the house feels more expensive. So, what did we say last time? And really, I say it often. And whenever I'm in a home and I'm helping someone prepare it for the market, I'm always telling them our goal is to try to make your home feel like it's less than 10 years old, right? Now, and you do that with what? What do you do that with?
You do
Colors.
that with updates and warm colors. I think,
Colors.
when it comes to the flooring, not only is it going to be time consuming to change it, it's going to be expensive too. So this is something you really want to get right.
It is. And if you're going to pick new flooring, we'll talk about that. But if you already have flooring, you don't want to change it, then that's what we're going to talk about as well, right? So the paint again is the connector to these things. It's not the first thing that you pick out. So, if you already have a really warm natural floor, then you're kind of ahead of the game on the trend right now, right?
So what are the trends? And I know you did some research. So what are the trends in flooring?
So the trends in flooring is that the wood tones are dominating now. They're like at 50% almost. Where you're just plain brown, gray, beige, they're down there hanging around 10%. They're really low now. So we've moved away from the gray floors to this warm wood tone flooring. And if you look at the House study, the 2026, that's what it tells you. And
What did
so,
it tell you? Did it give us some specifics about the colors?
yeah, 49% for wood tones, 11% for brown, 11% for gray, 8% for beige, 5% for off-white flooring.
So when I think of wood tones, though, I mean, I can think of a hundred different types of wood color.
Yes, but the ones that really kind of are, I guess, the most popular are like a honey, a caramel, a chestnut.
And now I'm getting hungry. Are these foods or these floor colors?
Well, well, that kind of is the point, though. The warmth of the floor is supposed to feel that warm, like it feels warm, rich, natural. It feels homey,
But
and
it's not a one size fits all, is it? I mean, a bigger home is going to be different than a smaller home. Ranch, if the room's bigger, if a $1 million house versus a $200,000 house, those wood tones are going to be different in each one, aren't they?
sure they are. I mean, in a smaller space, any smaller space, smaller room, smaller home, you're gonna want lighter, right? Lighter flooring, lighter paint. That all makes things feel larger. Darker makes it feel smaller. The other thing about these natural warm tones are natural oak is a white oak, particularly walnut, hickory. Um, these that have the warm beige undertone, not the red oak that has actually a reddish undertone, which is what you're so probably used to seeing, or a
I'm
lot
used
of
to seeing those covered with dust and scratch marks from the pets.
well, that's very true too. But if you get a really hard floor like a hickory or a white oak, it's going to really help that a lot. If you get a pre-finished floor that has like 7 layers of pre-finish, that helps a lot with that too.
But you said earlier, your lifestyle has to come into it too, doesn't it?
Your lifestyle does. If you pick a
Yeah.
really dark floor, then you get a lot of sunlight on that floor, then you're going to see every dust bunny there is, every paw print, right? So it has to fit your lifestyle. If you have a very active lifestyle in the house and you have a lot of kids and pets, then you're probably going to want something lighter,
And it's good,
or
lighter and
maybe even
durable,
more
right?
medium tone that's not going to show all that. But let's talk about finishes on floors too. The finishes on floors are the matted finish is more the thing, not a shiny, glossy finish, but more of a matte finish.
So what do you think's pushing that trend? Why would that be better? And I agree. I don't know if I want my floors
Oh,
shiny.
I don't know. When they're shiny, they might feel a little bit cooler. And the matte finish feels warmer. So it
Yeah,
just feels more earthy and it feels more comfortable. So, that's really why the matte finish just feels more natural.
gotcha.
So, if you have a gray floor already, let's just touch on that. Not
Yeah, so
all.
I bought the house. I don't have the budget to fix the gray floors now. Um, I could rip them out and just live on the subfloor with some big rugs. But do you have any other suggestions?
You could. Now,
Okay.
some gray floors have a little bit of brown in them. They're kind of a
Okay.
gray brown, grayish brown, a grayish they call. That's probably
Great.
you're probably a little bit ahead of the game because you got a little bit of brown in it. If
Right.
it is all gray, just what you don't want to do, the biggest mistake people make when they have gray floors is doubling down on gray again on the wall or the cabinet or the counter because they want to pull it out. We don't want to pull out the cool gray.
So
So
I'm at Home Depot with my wife. She has the little paint sample and she likes that gray, but should I wait to maybe try a little bit of it before we commit?
oh,
Or
we definitely painted on the floor for on the floor, on the wall first.
right.
No doubt about that. I would
Yeah, so
definitely
so
paint
you
it
want
up.
what you want basically is a contrast though. We don't want, like we said earlier, we don't want it looking like a dentist office or an office building. This is a home. So
It's
if
a
we do
home.
have to,
So that's why we talked about the colors that are in those warm whites like an alabaster, right? The soft greens, the taupey, the creamy cabinets, um, the champagne style, not really brass, but a champagne style door handle or knob, the quartz and the natural stone looks. So, just don't double down on the gray if you already have gray. And remember that you want the warm, medium brown tones. You don't want orange, you don't want red, you don't want super dark espresso tones in your floor if you're going to go pick a floor. But if you're going to pick a paint color to tone down the gray, then use these more warm colors that we talked about last week to warm it up. And if you're going to paint your cabinets, then, first pick your cabinet color, then pick your wall color.
kind of goes in order of expense. I would think the floors are probably going to be my biggest expense.
No
Cabinets
doubt
number
about it.
two, close behind cabinets. And then, paint is something that's relatively inexpensive, relatively. But I
Yes. Oh,
know
yeah.
if you walk into the house and it's wrong, it can look like, I need to spend 40 or $50,000 to fix this the way I want it, when it could just be $7,500.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, the matte and satin finish floors, they kind of like, they not only feel softer and a little bit more natural, but they do hide some imperfections better than shiny too. And so they don't really scream for attention that much. When you do photography, if you're gonna go to sell the home, you don't have as much glare when you're taking pictures as well.
It's
So
funny,
that's
we're focusing so much on woods and we didn't talk at all about tile, carpeting, any of that. Is it the hardwood? Is that the way to go, the LVP?
there's some high-end LVP, Glenn. I saw an Ambassador flooring the other day. Oh my gosh, it looks just like wood. I can't tell the difference.
And it's a lot
So
less
when
expensive,
when
right?
you think of LVP, some people just think of a very low end, low grade, scratch it and it looks a mess kind of LVP. I'm talking some hell high end LVP that looks like wood that's absolutely beautiful, but yet is waterproof,
Yeah.
right? Some of it water resistant. The carpet is definitely coming back and has for a while. It's always been in St. Louis, at least. Carpet's been fine in bedrooms, totally fine. I mean, right now with the seller's market, we've been selling homes with carpet in the living rooms and dining rooms. You know, it's like it doesn't keep a house from selling where maybe it used to. It doesn't. But if you're going to redo your flooring, then carpet in the bedrooms is totally fine. Any place you might want to wrestle with the kids or walk around in your bare feet a lot, um, that's fine. Another thing in flooring that's kind of really coming into style is that herringbone or
Oh,
chevron,
herringbone. Yeah, yeah. So
right?
that's not just for an English castle or a Tudor mansion
No,
in
no, it's not.
Sussex.
And you really, if you've seen a lot of houses in the city, they have these.
Oh
That when the
yeah.
old artisans, I mean, these guys who were just really, the artisan of their trade, you see these herringbone patterns in these older homes, and they're gorgeous. So something like in a dining room or a kitchen, right? Maybe or an office. Probably not in your big, humongous great room, but these patterns are definitely becoming a thing. The Flooring America definitely calls the herringbone pattern out as a major 2026 flooring trend. And Forbes 2026 flooring coverage also points to the pattern hardwoods and the warmer palettes. So this is definitely something that is a big trend. So if you want to get a little fancy, try a little bit of pattern, a herringbone pattern in one of your rooms. You'll
You know,
probably
it's
like.
interesting with YouTube and all the resources available. I'm seeing younger couples, and maybe I don't know if they're younger, but I've seen people actually DIY their flooring. They're going to the
Mhm.
hardware store or the big box store and they're getting that flooring and they're doing a room at it. And it's I always think you're better to have a professional contractor, but I am seeing younger couples
Yeah,
tackling these the floor projects on their own.
yeah, and that's awesome. Just remember, pick your flooring if you really like your flooring. If you already have cabinets that you're not going to change, then this flooring needs to be paired with that cabinetry.
You got to
Uh,
think of them all getting along together. The paint, the
it does.
cabinets, the floors, all of it,
Remember, the paint's a connector between the cabinets and the counters and the flooring.
right?
It's not. It's not the star of the show, right, Glenn? I mean,
Yeah.
it's really not.
Are we seeing anybody putting tile in anymore? Or is it just the kitchens, bathrooms, maybe?
Yeah, you do see tile, and you do see LVP looking ceramic style where you
Yeah,
can't
isn't that
tell
amazing?
the
Yeah.
difference between ceramic and LVP tile anymore. Those are laid on patterns a lot too, on angles in the bathrooms and especially in the primary baths. So that's very popular as well. And the LVP just it won't crack or break as easy as the ceramic maybe with some
Do you sort of feel like the LVP is a lot cheaper, somewhat cheaper, or kind of about the same? Or
a
does it
lot
depend
cheaper.
on a lot
Well, so
cheaper?
LVP when you put LVP in a nice high end LVP, it's like what wood used to cost to put in. Uh, but and so wood's like doubled. So LVP can be depending on the category of LVP, right? If you're got a high end LVP, it's going to be much closer to that wood floor price than the bottom line LVP, but it is definitely a lot cheaper. There's no doubt about it.
It's fascinating.
So
So,
yeah,
so we
so
learned a
you
lot
go.
that it all has to kind of get along together. Because if it doesn't, you're going to walk in the house and you're just going to feel weird.
No
Um,
doubt about it.
it's
No doubt.
not a 40 or $50,000 fix. It can be a five or six, $7,500 fix. We don't need to panic. And I would say, when you get to that point and you have questions, give us a call. We're happy to help out.
Yeah, absolutely. So just remember, cool gray LVP everywhere is kind of an out thing, but if you have it, let's tone it down with some warm, neutral tones, some wood furniture, maybe even a wood counter on your island. Get some wood tones in there and get that tone down a little bit. The natural oak is very in, white oak is specifically in the flooring. Your honey caramel tones,
Getting hungry again.
not orange, not orange. And then your matte satin kind of finish on your floors, carpet in your bedrooms. So these are just, and remember, if you're redoing your flooring or putting new flooring in, try not to have 5 different types of flooring on one level. It's okay to have a couple, but you get into 4 or 5 different types of flooring on one level. People don't like that at all. So we're here to help you figure it out, whether you're just
Yes,
remodeling for yourself and you want your home to feel more expensive. Remember, people buy an emotion first. Logic makes you think, emotion makes you act. It's our job to help you trip these emotional triggers. And this is why we're talking about colors of your floors, your cabinets, your counters, your walls. Colors are a humongous emotional trigger for buyers. And when it feels warm and inviting and just right, people go crazy for it. And that's what you want.
yeah.
So
And on the
thanks.
flip side, if that's the house you're buying, maybe don't panic. If I can get a deal on this house, I can update it with some paint. I can make it all work together for not
Right.
a fortune.
Yeah, remember, it's just colors a lot of times that make a house feel sterile. Not the actual, it's just the color of the wall. They picked the wrong paint. Right? So you can take something and make it look a lot more expensive with colors, with painting, or maybe with a flooring change. So we're here to help you figure that out. And
Yes.
thanks for joining us today on the fundamentals of real estate. We'll talk more about cabinetry and probably lighting next time that we get together. And I'm your host here, Angela Dillman at the Dillman Group at Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield. And this is my wealth building partner.
Glen Calvin at Gill Mortgage, and we're here to
Help you build wealth
live your dream lifestyle.
and leave legacies that matter. Till next time.
Thanks.